good evening, everyone, and welcome to ERS 2020 Together We Rise Virtual Gala. My name is Curtis Fuller, and I will serve as your master of ceremony for this evening's event. You know, as a news anchor and reporter at WLWT, I have to tell you that the past 7 months, this past year, has been pretty difficult on everyone, no doubt about it. I have shared many stories related to this pandemic. As we all know, there is no population at greater risk of the dangers of COVID-19 than older adults, especially those living in communal settings. We are here tonight to celebrate and support Episcopal Retirement Services. And as you know, that's an organization dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of every older adult in their care. It has been an exceptionally difficult road for ERS to navigate, but we can all be proud to be a part of this incredible organization that has been steadfast in its commitment to health and safety during these challenging times. Now, on a personal note, ERS has a very special place in my heart. One of my longtime mentors at WLWT, Tom Craig, spent his final years of his life at the residence of Marjorie P. Lee. And I can tell you, I can speak on behalf of everyone at WLWT. We first of all want to thank everyone for the care they gave Tom in his final years, the compassion, and we know the joy that he had. He was always still being a news person right in the front lobby, and so we miss him, but we thank all of you. And we also want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. We wish we were all together, of course. We are glad that you are home, you are safe, and you are with your loved ones. Tonight's event is being brought to you live from this iconic Hilton Cincinnati Netherland Plaza Hotel. There are just a few people here from the ERS staff, along with this great jazz team that we have here, and of course we have the tech team here. We are following all social distancing protocols in order to keep everyone safe. I have my mask here, and I will have it on, except when I'm talking. I think some people would hope that I had this on all the time, some kind of mask on, but we are providing all social distancing here. I'd like to take a few moments to bring you with us inside this incredible hotel. It is now a National Historic Landmark. The Netherland Plaza Hotel was established by famous Cincinnatian John J. Emery as part of the development of Carew Tower. Opening in 1931, this magnificent hotel remains one of the nation's most authentic examples of French Art Deco architecture. Now, the hotel originally boasted 7 restaurants, 11 kitchens. The pavilion functioned as a big band nightclub that provided live entertainment. Interesting, at the age of 15, Doris Day made her professional debut within the ballroom. Now, there was even, and I did not know this, there was even an ice skating rink in the hotel's spacious Continental Ballroom, actually where I am standing right at this very moment. On behalf of ERS, I would like to thank the Hilton Cincinnati Netherland Plaza Hotel for so graciously hosting our live broadcast event this evening. Now, later tonight, we will take you back in time a little bit to honor the legacy of another significant, but perhaps less widely known Cincinnati hotel. It was called the Mann's Hotel. It too dated back to the 1930s. It actually opened in 1930. The Mann's Hotel was located over in Walnut Hills. The Mann's is historically significant as the first Black-owned hotel here in Cincinnati, appearing in the Green Book as one of the few hotels welcoming African Americans during the era of segregation. And like the Netherland Plaza Hotel, the Mans was a grand hotel that hosted countless famous Americans through the 1960s, along with many civic and social functions for the local African American community. It is now under renovation, by the way, and to quality, affordable living for low-income seniors by ERS and the Model Group, and is playing a very important role in preserving low-income housing in the midst of a significant revitalization occurring throughout Walnut Hills. There will be more to come later this evening about the special part of our city's history, the Mans Hotel. But at this time, I would like to introduce Joy Blang, the Executive Director of Philanthropy for ERS. Joy oversees the ERS Fund Development Team, which works closely with generous donors, making meaningful gifts to many different areas within ERS. Joy?
Thank you, Curtis. We're so happy that you are joining us this evening, and welcome to all of you watching us from home. On behalf of all of us at ERS, welcome again to the Together We Rise Gala, and we so appreciate you zooming in to join us in this unusual format for our annual gala. But one of the silver linings, I guess, of hosting a virtual event is that literally anyone on the planet could join us tonight if they wanted to. And in fact, I'm pleased to share that we have quite a number of guests this evening who, if we were here together live and in person, they wouldn't have been able to be here with us. So I want to give a special welcome to all of you who are able to join us because we are virtual. And again, thanks for everyone else for tuning in this year instead of being here together in person. In the days and weeks leading up to tonight's event, so many of you have just been incredibly kind and wonderful, reaching out to us to wish us luck on our first time in putting on a virtual gala, in lending your support and sharing your enthusiasm with us and others for tonight's event. And we realize that you are not able to see anyone else who is attending this event. And we wanted to give you a little bit of an insight into who some of your fellow guests are, where they're joining us from, and what their unique connections to ERS are. So the festivities all kicked off about a week ago when many of our corporate sponsors and our donors who had given some gifts in advance of the gala participated in our drive-through party pickup distribution at our St. Paul Village Affordable Living Community. We had gorgeous weather. Our residents came out and assisted us in greeting and thanking all of our guests that drove through in our contactless party pickup, and it was truly a wonderful day to be able to be sort of up close and in person just for a few minutes to see and talk to you. So thanks to all of you for joining us that day. I'd like to welcome Linda and David Stetson, who are joining us from their home in Highlands, North Carolina. Linda is a former board member and still serves on our Fund Development Committee. Her mother was a resident at our Marjorie P. Lee community. Linda and David are particular champions of affordable living by ERS. Also, welcome to Nash McCauley and Diana Abbasi. They have cleared out the furniture and are looking forward to dancing later this evening with the Mandy Gaines Quartet. They are fabulous dancers and are joining us from their home in Naples, Florida. As Curtis said, you're going to hear a lot more this evening about our exciting historic Mance project that is underway. As a young boy, Nash lived right across the street from the Mance Hotel, and he has fond memories of watching the Harlem Globetrotters come and go from the hotel from his front stoop. Here he is just a few weeks ago on a visit to Cincinnati, standing on those very same steps overlooking the Mance. And welcome to the Romney sisters, daughters of one of our original founding board members, Wilford Romney. Emily is joining us from Boston, and Nikki and Mary Ellen are both tuning in from their homes in Cincinnati. These three sisters came together early this year to make a tremendous gift in honor of their parents to our Marjorie P. Lee community. Unfortunately, COVID canceled at the last minute the special celebratory event that we had planned for their family in March, so we are particularly happy that they are joining us this evening. Please look for a future issue of our ERS Linkage magazine later this year for the full story about their special gift. And getting closer to home, our board chair, Joanne Hagopian, and her husband, Gary, are raising a toast to you. Here they are recently with the light of their life, their first grandchild, Callie. And as close to home as we can get, our ERS communities. Many of our residents are joining us today from all of our communities, including Dupree House residents, Court and Annette Meter, and here they are with their furry friend Max, Marjorie P. Lee residents Lillian Dartnell and David Lowry, and Beverly, who is a resident at our Madison Villa community. On behalf of their friends and neighbors, they have asked me to pass along their appreciation for all that you do to support them and all of the older adults served by ERS. We would love to see you too. So if you would take a selfie of yourselves and whoever you are watching this with tonight, we would love it if you would tag us on social media, #TogetherWeRiseGala, or email it to us at info@erslife.org. And I believe these links are being placed in the chat feature for you right now. Our sponsors, we have so many incredible corporate and church sponsors who really laid the foundation for our success tonight, and I really want to take a moment to thank them. This year we have 4 presenting sponsors, and so I'd like to recognize them: the Model Group, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, Ridgestone Builders and Developers, and US Bank. When you have a moment, please take a look in either the print program that many of you received in the mail or on our ERS Gala website to review the comprehensive list of all of our corporate and church sponsors and all of our in-kind and auction donors to help us appreciate and thank them. The theme for our gala tonight, Together We Rise, was also the theme that we adopted when COVID broke. And it's based on a quote from Abraham Lincoln. "The occasion is piled high with difficulty. We must rise to this occasion together." And in recognition that so many among us are struggling and suffering right now, and for all those who are rising to the occasion to care for and support them, I'd like to ask you to join us in a moment of prayer. We have the Right Reverend Kenneth L. Price with us, who's representing Bishop Bridenthal this evening, who is unfortunately not able to be with us. On behalf of all of us at ERS, we would like to send our best wishes and prayers to Bishop Bridenthal for a healthy, happy, and fulfilling retirement. And thank you for your tremendous support of ERS, older adults, and all that you have done for the Diocese of Southern Ohio over the past 13 years.
Oh God, you made us in your image and redeemed us through Jesus, your Son, with compassion for the whole family. Remember especially at this time those who have lost lives or who are lonely or suffering physically or emotionally because of COVID. Those who have lost lives or homes or businesses due to the raging fires in the West or the hurricanes and floods in the South. Likewise, we lift up those, many of them our family or neighbors, who have lost jobs or livelihood at this time of worldwide pandemic, and for those who may be afflicted by disease or pain as part of the normal course of life. As we ask your blessing and healing for those in need, we also offer thanksgiving for the ministry of the Episcopal Retirement Services, who through the years have been providing loving care for the senior citizens and those needing affordable housing in our community day in and day out, even when the crises we noted are not present. It is such continuous service and dedication that gives action to your healing presence. We offer these prayers in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen.
In the months since COVID, we have seen countless moments of heroism. So many individuals rising to the occasion in ways both big and small. The bravery of our residents and their families, During these very difficult and frightening times, the commitment and dedication of our staff, often at their own personal sacrifice, the continued commitment and support of our corporate partners and churches and our volunteers, and finally, you, our donors. It has been truly humbling to be part of an organization so enveloped with compassion and support as ERS, and we truly thank you for that. We have received a number of letters of gratitude from the individuals who have benefited from the services and care of ERS, and it is our pleasure to share a few of these letters with you on their behalf this evening. I will begin with a letter from a Meals on Wheels client, and other leaders within ERS will share letters after me. Dear Sippy, a few weeks ago, my Meals on Wheels volunteer driver supplied me with some needed personal items, and I want to thank you. She brought me toothpaste, a bar of soap, and some shampoo. This meant so much to me because I had just been released from the hospital and could not go shopping for myself. In 1988, my husband lost his life in a car accident and I became disabled. I was 44 at the time of the accident and my life has never been the same. I had loved my job, but everything changed one slightly rainy afternoon. Most of my days are spent in bed because serious unresolved issues in my neck and back. Recently, I was diagnosed with cancer, and now I go to treatments 3 days a week. The microwave you provided for me is so deeply appreciated. When I come home, I usually feel pretty weak. I'm so grateful to be able to prepare a hot meal quickly and efficiently. The meals are well balanced and tasty and I enjoy them, but I also find myself looking forward to the weekly visits with my delivery lady. It's amazing how much of a person's life you can share in just those few moments I spend with her when she delivers my meals. Those minutes add up to a friendship and a relationship that has become so precious to me. Sometimes what seems so small and insignificant can create a little miracle. God bless you all, Katie Johnson.
Dear Denise, I've been a resident at St. Paul Village a little over 3 years. Several of my friends were already living here and had very positive things to say about this facility. I really enjoyed living here. It's a very safe environment and the residents are friendly and neighborly. The staff is very professional and keep us informed of any updates that occur in our complex. Due to the coronavirus, we have special guidelines we must follow. But in spite of wearing our masks and the social distancing, we have the best coordinators who have very creative skills. They always seem to figure out a way to have fun. They plan different activities and have materials for anyone who wants to participate. We also have a great van driver. He provides transportation for the residents when a ride is needed to go to the grocery or other scheduled outings. Whenever I hear of someone looking for a senior place to live, I always recommend St. Paul Village. Regards and blessings, Miss Inez Brock.
Dear ERS family, my name is Ruth Eisen and I'm writing to thank you for your support. One of the things I really enjoyed doing as a resident at Dupree Cottages is SIDO. SIDO is a learning process started by Japanese educators and neuroscientists to help elderly people maintain their memory. It's based on simple math and simple reading aloud. As time goes on, my confidence and my memory gets better. Right now, with the virus going on, it's hard to feel so isolated. My favorite part of SIDO is that it shifts my thinking from things going on outside that I don't like to realizing there are some things going on that I do appreciate and enjoy. SIDO helps me keep my mind busy and helps me understand that I am still a valuable person. I've been here at the cottages for 10 years now, and I intend to keep going. SIDO is one of the many ways ERS helps me to do this. I am so grateful for all of you and your support of SIDO, and I thank you for continuing it on our behalf. Sincerely, Ruth Eisen.
Dear Episcopal Retirement Services staff, I haven't seen my mother, Ann Harrison, since December 2019. Because of the pandemic, my wife and I have had to cancel 2 trips to Cincinnati since then. And we weren't able to bring my mother up to the Adirondacks with us this summer. So for the first time since she was a little girl, she didn't get to spend any time at the lake that is so special to her. As sad and frustrating as this all has been, my siblings and I are grateful for the staff at Marjorie P. Lee for taking care of our mother during this difficult time. She has mentioned how much she loves Patricia, who cleans her room, how friendly Betsy is at the desk, and before that, Sherry, and how much she appreciates the dining staff. But I think the thing my mother is most grateful for, and therefore I am most grateful for, are the grounds of Marjorie P. Lee, the courtyard and the gardens. My mother is someone who loves the outdoors, and before the pandemic, she was taking long walks through Hyde Park regularly. But the courtyard and the gardens have allowed her to keep enjoying the outdoors, albeit on a smaller scale. She often eats her meals in the courtyard with some of her resident friends, and she also likes to read there. And she is walking. Of course, she has to do several laps around the courtyard and gardens to get any meaningful exercise, but that's what she's been doing, and I know it has really helped her morale. Jeffrey Harrison.
And now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our President and CEO, Laura Lamb, who in just a few moments will share some of the highlights of 2020, as well as some of our challenges and her perspective on the state of ERS and the impact that the pandemic is having on our organization and the aging services industry in general. But she also has some good news and will be sharing her vision for the future as we look forward. But personally, I'd like to just take a moment to say thank you, Laura. You have truly served as the ultimate example for rising to the occasion for all of us ERS, and we have learned so much from you. Thank you. So back in June, we held a virtual event. It was our first virtual event with the ERS Foundation, and many of you, our partners, joined us for that. And I had just read an article in the New York Times entitled, "We Need Great Leadership Now, and Here's What It Looks Like." And it came at a time for me personally when I really needed to read this article about crisis leadership. And I needed reassuring because professionally, and as a member of the ERS staff, but also personally, as the daughter of 2 residents living in our ERS community of the Dupree Cottages. And I was tremendously reassured because I was reading through this article and they were listing all of these characteristics about what a great leader needs at a time of crisis. I realized that Laura actually embodied all of them. And so I wanted to share those with you. From truthfulness and transparency, to conveying hope for better days ahead, to seeking the wisdom and expertise of others, to taking time to pause and reflect and reimagine. Laura, these are all things that you have shown us and you have encouraged the rest of us at ERS to develop and exhibit ourselves. But I think the one that really resonated with me the most, given the work that we do with older adults, was this. Great leaders go to extremes. They go to extremes to protect those among us who are most vulnerable, and to support those who are risking their lives to care for and protect them so that the rest of us can go back to living our own lives. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you our leader, Laura Lamb.
Thank you, Joy. Very nice. As you know, COVID-19 has presented so many challenges. Across the country, we've seen heartache, we've seen struggle. Not only are we seeing people struggle with their health and being isolated and lonely, we have a society full of racial injustice that we're seeing play out before our lives. And if that's not enough, we're suffering from major catastrophes such as hurricanes and fires. But as we face these adversities, I am so proud to represent an organization such as ERS. Together, our staff, our residents, our partners, and our donors came together to rise to the occasion in face of all these challenges. There are so many examples of innovation and thoughtfulness that I wanted to share some of those stories with you this evening. I have to start with the staff. The staff are amazing. They've pivoted, they've adapted from day one. In many cases, literally overnight, they had to start working from home. Others made sacrifices to make sure they were in our communities day in and day out, meeting the needs of our elders. We've held all kinds of virtual job fairs, virtual marketing events, resident and staff meetings as this pandemic began. It's really funny if you think about it because many of us didn't know what Zoom was before the pandemic, but now we're surely experts. We've helped keep our resident connected and engaged through our virtual visits, our window visits, our outdoor visits, and hopefully next week, indoor visits. We've reimagined our activity programs and wellness programs to ensure that residents remain engaged and as healthy as possible. We partnered with Cisco Cincinnati and created pop-up pantries to serve food to our staff and our affordable living residents when the world was shutting down. We are the lucky recipient of a great partnership that came out of this pandemic between Midas and La Soupe. To date, we have delivered 1,500 chef-prepared meals to our affordable living residents. We've increased the number of meals delivered to our Meals on Wheels clients by over 50%. And as you heard Joy say, we've not only delivered a meal, but needed personal supplies as well. Our parish health ministry volunteers kicked into action and literally made more than 2,000 masks in a very short time at the start of the pandemic when we really struggled to get proper personal protective equipment. We were blessed by what I call our toilet paper angels that came together to literally provide a 4-month supply of toilet paper for each and every affordable living resident in the most difficult time when I'm sure you can recall finding toilet paper was quite a challenge. And most importantly, we've been able to limit the amount of staff and resident infections in our communities. But like you, I know that this is far from over. We're looking straight at the fall and the winter, and we know we will face challenges ahead. But just as we've done, we are going to look them in the eye and make sure that we protect our elders and our staff. We are certainly seeing some short-term financial challenges that occupancy has created when you have to stop your admissions to a retirement community because of a global pandemic. But ERS is a strong and stable organization. Our board and leadership have done an amazing job over the years to put ERS in a position to weather this storm. However, there are challenges. Just recently, we had to announce that we had to pause the mission in a very important part of our organization, Parish Health Ministry. With declining revenue related to stopping our admissions, we have to recognize short-term challenges and address them now and not wait for tomorrow. This is absolutely difficult for our parish health ministry team and impacts all the congregations we serve, and we look forward to coming back strong in the middle of the next year. I think all of this illustrates that we need you now more than ever. We need you to make sure that we can live up to our promise, deliver the promise that we will never ask a resident to move for financial reasons because of no fault of their own. You can help us live up our promise to our affordable living residents that we provide safe and comfortable housing in a time in their life where they need us the most so they can live their best life. Our staff need you. They need us all to support them through difficulties, whether it's financial, physical challenges, mental challenges that candidly only a 100-year pandemic can create. We are so grateful for those of you that have stepped up during this pandemic and helped us with emergency assistance. We thank all of our charitable donors, and it's because of our donors that we have a healthy endowment that is helping us bridge the increased expenses that we're seeing with the pandemic. Together, we're rising to the occasion, fulfilling our mission during the most challenging of times. But we can't let a pandemic stop us from looking to the future. In this time, we have moved along several strategic priorities that will ensure ERS will be successful well into the future. As I introduced last year, we opened our Center for Memory Support and Inclusion and appointed Shannon Braun as our first director. Shannon is an incredible leader, and she will enable us to provide the assistance and guidance to those suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's, both in our communities as well as in the broader community. We also launched a pilot testing out our theories on middle market in Perrysburg, Ohio, with our partners from Ridgestone. Our patio homes are going to be an amazing backdrop for elders that may not be able to afford a traditional retirement communities. But by golly, they'll benefit from our services and our coordination and our care and our programming so that they can live in their home as long as possible. And lastly, down in Louisville, Kentucky, we've made a lot of progress with the ECH master plan. I'm so excited about that because we are going to create a more person-centered, intimate environment, both for our residents that live there and the staff that work there. We started construction this past May, and we just recently broke ground for our patio homes and our clubhouse in Dudley Square. So I want to end by just saying thank you. Thank you for your support, not just your past support or today's support, but more importantly, your ongoing commitment to ERS and our efforts. It's your time, it's your donations, it's your efforts that have helped us create a great place to work and an amazing place to live. ERS's future is bright. Together we have risen, and together we will continue to rise.
And thank you as well, Joy, for all the work that you do. I was reading to underscore how scale I heard resource we have here in our community. Well, tonight, by the incredible history of the man, I promise that we will a lot about the man's tonight. Located not far from the famed King's Records recording studio. Nearly all the African-American jazz greats of the 40s and 50s stayed right at the Mann's Hotel. Just imagine that. Names like Duke Ellington, Cab Calloway, Count Basie, and yet Brown. And to think that all of this was happening right here in our city of Cincinnati, there in Walnut Hills. Greats stayed at the Mann's while recording and performing here in Cincinnati. And you know, the Queen City still is fortunate to have a vibrant jazz scene here in Cincinnati, including Mandy Gaines, jazz performers. Mandy and her quartet will perform a live set for us at the end of the program, but just for a preview, we have one treat for you. And so I want to welcome right now the Mandy Gaines Quartet.
This song was the top choice this summer when the residents of the Dupree House and Marjorie P. Lee voted on songs for our virtual event that was held here as well. It had to be you. It had to be you. It had to be you. I've wandered around. I finally found somebody who makes me be true or makes me be blue. Makes me feel sad just to be glad of being with you. Some others I've seen could never be mean. Might try to be boss, try to get cross, that would not do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With your faults, I love you still. Had to be you, a wonderful you. Had to be you. Do-do-do-dee-do-dee. Some others I seen could never be so mean. Might try to be cross, try to be boss, but that just would not do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. Had to be you, wonderful you. Had to be you, wonderful you. Had to be you, my wonderful you. It had to be you.
Wow, how about that? That deserves a round of applause from the people we have here, huh? Wow. I had not heard her in a while, and I could kick myself that I have not heard her in a while. What a wonderful treat. And of course, she'll be back, and the quartet will be back at the end of the program. You know, a lot of people who support ERS, normally they would be here, and I'm wondering, they're probably thinking, how can they support this great organization tonight?
Well, we have lots of opportunities for that, Curtis. And, you know, we have multiple goals tonight. As you said earlier this evening, this event raises nearly a third of our contributions to our annual fund, the Good Samaritan Mission. So it's really important that we inspire our donors this evening to join with us in this really important work. But many who are with us this evening may be new to ERS. A lot of them only experience one facet of our organization, and so ERS is really a large organization that provides a broad spectrum of programs and services and serves a variety of demographics of older adults. So tonight's a night about sharing that and sharing that with those who have been with us for a long time, who are really part of our success, our board members, our volunteers, our longtime donors. And of course, we want to have fun tonight. But tonight is a different kind of event, and we've never done it before. And normally, as you know, at a gala, you'd buy a ticket and that's part of your donation, and then come to the event. But we did not want to limit anyone. We wanted everybody who wanted to join us this evening. So the links to attend tonight's event were complimentary. Now, fortunately, we had a great number who made advance donations. Hopefully you all are enjoying your party packs that we provided for you as a small way of our saying thank you. But yes, there are plenty of opportunities still for individuals to support tonight's event, including a silent auction with a couple of twists.
I'm curious about that. And I imagine everyone else is a little curious. So tell us about those twists that you
Okay.
mentioned.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you about our silent auction.
Okay.
So we know that we're trying hard to social distance and stay at home as much as possible. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit stir crazy. So I think some of our getaways and experiences that we have in our silent auction kind of will help scratch that itch, but also help people to remain safe, which is so important to us at ERS. So for example, we have just an absolutely lovely, charming 3-bedroom Northern Michigan cottage, the Ross Cottage. It is ideal any time of year. It's right on a golf course, so it's great for golf enthusiasts. If you like swimming and hiking and tennis and whatever, all the things they do in Michigan in the summer, it's great. I'm sure right now it's absolutely gorgeous with all the fall leaves changing. It's also a great spot in the winter if you enjoy downhill skiing and cross-country skiing and snowshoe, that kind of thing. If fishing is more your thing, we have a fishing cabin on Dale Hollow Lake, Tennessee. And for those of you who maybe don't want to spend the night away, what could be more fun than a sunset cruise on the Ohio River, complete with signature cocktails and hors d'oeuvres and a gourmet dinner with the most fun hosts, Captain and First Mate Gary and Joanne Hagopian. And we also have an insider experience. You could not experience this otherwise. The model group and Walnut Hills historian Jeff Sutton are coming together, and they will provide a behind the scenes inside tour of our Manse apartment project right before it opens with new residents moving in. So that will be quite a treat.
Yeah, it's very impressive about the Manse, and that would be a great treat. You also have some things where people can pamper themselves, huh?
That's right. I think we all need that right about
That's
now,
true.
don't we? Well, right now we're showing you a picture of Donna Salyer's fabulous faux fur, but I have just learned that someone put in an outright bid to bid and buy it now. So as I suspected, that might happen with a few items. So that is no longer on the auction block, but it was a reminder to people, if you see something that you really want, just go ahead and do the bid and buy and take it right away. But what else do we have? We have some his and her Coach fragrance baskets. A lot of people enjoy cocktail hour, maybe especially more so in these months of COVID. And so we have quite an array of both fine and everyday wines and spirits, and so much more on the silent auction page.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I tried to push you to the twist earlier, but talk a little bit about what's different, the twist that you have.
Right, it takes me a while to warm up to get to the twist.
No.
Well, I'm pleased to introduce the Pay It Forward auction, which is something new for us. And Curtis, oftentimes donors will say to me, what is my $100 gift or my $250 gift or whatever? What is that really doing for ERS and the people we serve? And my response is always, all gifts truly do matter, of all sizes. They all go into collectively make it possible for us to provide all the programs and services throughout the year under the Good Samaritan mission. And to us, philanthropy is really not about someone giving us a check or giving us money. It's really about working with someone who's making a gift that then helps us fill a need so that an older adult we serve can live a better life. And so on our Pay It Forward auction, which when you look online at the silent auction, there's a section below it where there are different categories like affordable living and Meals on Wheels, or the Center for Memory Support and Inclusion, or some of our communities like Marjorie Dupree and the cottages. And there are ways you can go in and see what are some of the specific things that your donation can provide in the services to our residents all year round. So as a special thank you for individuals who are contributing to our Pay It Forward auction, we mentioned we have a few party packs left that we gave out a little bit earlier. I think we might be showing a picture right now. And so anyone who gives over a $250 or more gift to the Pay It Forward auction tonight will be entered into a raffle drawing for the rest of those party packs.
Oh, I was going to say that really sounds interesting, and that is an interesting twist that you've added tonight. So that's great. So the other important thing, if someone's watching, how can they participate?
Right. Great question. One of the easiest ways is to go online, episcopalretirement.com/gala. I think we're showing a slide with that right now. If you scroll down about halfway on that page, there's a place to click to take you to the silent and Pay It Forward auctions. Once you get there, they'll need to do a little bit of registering, put in their name and some contact information and enter their credit card information. And then once they're in, they're free to check out all the items, bid, counter bid, get some good items going into the end of the evening. Some people are more comfortable mailing in a check.
Yeah.
We did send a number of print programs out, and most of them should have been received this week, so there's a return envelope in there, so they can just mail a gift to us. And then I also encourage individuals to check out the ERS website. There's a lot of information about the foundation and many different ways that individuals might want to consider a gift now or in the future to ERS. But we would like for people to just be able to relax and enjoy the rest of the program, and certainly enjoy the best of the Mandy Gaines Quartet. So we will be leaving the silent auction open 1 hour after the conclusion of tonight's event. So we're concluding at 8:30. But the silent auction will remain open until 9:30. So I think that's plenty of time to get in and bid and find some really fun stuff. And the Pay It Forward auction, it's not a competitive bidding process. That will actually remain open throughout the month of October.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So there's no excuse for people who are watching to be able to be a part of not only this evening, but as you said, they'll be paying it forward. That is wonderful. So we need to navigate away from our program right now. There will be time to go into that a little bit later. Now I'd like to invite ERS CEO Laura Lamb back to the stage. She will be joined by Kathy Eisen-Lin, the Vice President of Affordable Living and In-Home Services. They will reflect on the incredible growth and success of affordable living by ERS.
Kathy, we've worked together a long time, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've been with the organization 26 years and you 18. And we have worn our number of hats, haven't we? The two of us combined, it's kind of funny. And you started out in therapy and had a number of leadership roles in health and wellness and rehabilitation. And as I look at you, that just served you so well as you stepped into leading our affordable living ministry. The other thing is that, you know, affordable living is a part of what we do each and every day, but it wasn't always that way. We've had incredible, tremendous growth over the last 10 years under your leadership. You know, when you started, we had one community that served 150 residents, and now we have 29 communities serving more than 1,700 elders. That is amazing. And that growth has happened so quickly. And I know personally that maintaining quality during rapid growth is a challenge. And we've had our growing pains, but one thing that I really admire about you and your team is that during that growth, you've always maintained the integrity of our programs and our services to our elders. So I thought it would be great if you could tell us a little bit about this journey.
Thanks, Laura. Well, over the past 10 years, we certainly have learned a lot, and we're continuously improving. There are stories we could tell. One of our first projects that we applied for tax credits was St. Paul Village in Madisonville. And we did all the research, all the work. We applied, we were so excited waiting, and we didn't get the award. It was so disappointing. The building was absolutely falling apart. We were trading out refrigerators to get one apartment to work. So we called our partner, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, and said, what do we do? Help us. Well, they recommended that we call Steve Smith, the Model Group. Steve met with us and he said, you're not thinking big enough. I'm like, what? He said, you're not thinking big enough. You can't just patch and Band-Aid these together. You need a major renovation. So he taught us how to work with the city and other funding sources to get the gap financing that we needed to do a complete renovation. And he taught us that you use good quality products that are beautiful, because in the end, they last a lot longer. He also said something, when the community should not be able to tell the difference between low income and market rate housing. That has always stuck with me, and I am proud to say that our buildings are beautiful and very well thought out. Learning about which projects made the best tax credit applications was confusing and difficult. I didn't have a background in that. So it took just so much expertise through the mentors that I had at ERS and through the Model Group and Ohio Capital. They were wonderful in helping us learn and help. They were critical in helping us grow.
That's awesome. I've heard you say that we're not about just building buildings for the sake of a great real estate portfolio, that at ERS, we're all about enriching the lives of elders and serving more elders. And we know that elders live more successfully when they're engaged and have a sense of purpose. And I think affordable living is a wonderful example of how we're living our mission as a person-centered organization. And it really shows how philanthropy can make a significant contribution.
Yeah, Laura, it's not about the number of buildings that we have. It's about what happens inside those buildings. We're creating homes where our residents can live happily, successfully throughout the rest of their lives. And we've learned a whole lot along the way. You know, one of the first things we learned too is about it's really critical to have good community space, both inside and out. This is where our residents gather. They gather for fun, for learning, and for food. I'll tell you, they'll always come out for a good snack or a meal. That's the way to get them to come out. But it's during this time that residents who start as strangers, they become neighbors. And then neighbors become friends, and friends, they become family. They look out for one another. They care about each other. That's what this is really all about. We've also learned that even though affordable housing, it's independent living, but because of the services and supports that we can offer, they live independently much longer. So we have social workers in every one of our buildings that can connect our residents to services, which helps them be successful for a much longer time. Another important element is health and wellness. And we are able, through our fitness director and our partners in home health agencies, to connect our residents. We do health checks for them and really assess how they're doing. And we're able to help them. Some of our residents, they will call 911 at the start of a health issue. Or we have residents who will wait so long that they're actually becoming very debilitated and may need hospitalization. So through these health and wellness checks, our partners with our fitness director, our home health partners, they are able to either calm the resident and say, let's help you get access to services you need here, medical attention, or help the resident who is critical stop that, make that happen a little quicker so that we can take care of our residents. And again, when they feel safe and secure and happy, that's what we want them to do. By addressing these and other critical needs, we're really helping our residents to age where they want to be.
That's wonderful. And I don't know about you, but we can see your passion for serving older adults and specifically affordable living is just contagious. So talk to us a little bit about what inspires you and what are you finding most rewarding in the work that you do in affordable living?
I've always had a passion for serving seniors, and it started at the bedside in the hospital when I was a physical therapist, one patient at a time. You know, I have been so blessed, my work at ERS and my team, that we've been able to help so many of our seniors live happily in these last years of their life. How great is that? You know, I've heard residents, when they see their apartment or see our community, say, this is the best place I've ever lived. And when I first heard that, I felt so sad. And then I thought, wow, this is kind of joyful. Now, at this stage of their life, this is the best place they've ever lived. So by providing all the supportive services that we're able to do, even hospice sometimes, that's what helps our residents be able to stay in their home. Sometimes it's the last place they ever live. That is so rewarding.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Kathy. You know, tonight's event sponsors all aspects of our Good Samaritan mission, all of our programs within ERS. And each year with the gala, we pick one area to highlight. Last year, you'll recall that we had an amazing Mad Hatter Ball where we highlighted our expertise in and our vision for the future of creating memory care support and inclusion throughout our communities. This year, we've chosen to highlight affordable living and all that we've done under Kathy's amazing leadership. Each of our 29 affordable living communities is unique and has a very unique story to tell. Since many of our projects have been renovations of existing communities, they have served very different purposes throughout their history. So Kathy, we have teased this audience all night. I think it's time to talk about the Mance Apartments. And I understand that the marketing team has created an amazing video, which you're the star of. And I thought it would be great if you could introduce it for us.
With pleasure.
Thank you.
The opportunity to be involved with the restoration of the Mance and to play an important role in the revitalization in Walnut Hills and maintaining affordable living has been such an opportunity for us. On behalf of everyone at ERS and our project partners, the Model Group and Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, I bring you the incredible story of the Mance.
1916, Jacob Schmidlap built the Gordon Hotel, and that was a hotel for African-American travelers in Cincinnati, and that served as an inspiration for Horace Sudduth to build the Mance Hotel.
Sudduth was always involved not only in the high-class hotel business, but also in housing for ordinary people.
You would find it in the Green Book as a place that, as a person of color, if you were traveling across the country, you could stop. Many people that you know their name have stayed there. The Harlem Globetrotters, Frankie Robinson, James Brown. It flourished for decades. And then in the 60s, one-way streets arrived and a decline occurred. Businesses saw that they were losing customers coming into their stores. Decline of the housing stock, an exodus to the suburbs, not wanting to be in the city. As the city itself, the industry was declining. There was a time where the conversation was to tear the building down completely. And as a neighborhood, we reached out and we said, no, it has historical significance.
The community asked us to keep the building, And so we started to look at options for renovating the building for ERS to serve the seniors, but preserve that cultural history here in the neighborhood.
When the mass opens, I think it'll improve the neighborhood and give us more opportunities in the neighborhood in Walnut Hill.
Housing is one of the basic needs of everyone. If you don't have safe and secure housing, it's hard to function at all. The rents, grants, the subsidies do provide the money to us for us to run the building, but it's the philanthropy that allows us to turn the building into a home for our residents and provide all those extra services like the service coordination or transportation or activities or pastoral care that we offer to our residents that are so critical as they age. And to help them go home after a stroke or a fractured hip, to helping them continue to live until the end of their life in a wonderful community that serves all of their needs, not just their physical needs, that makes it truly a home for them.
Wow, Kathy, what an incredible project. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's an honor to keep alive the memories and lessons learned from an era of segregation. It's particularly relevant right now, isn't it? At ERS, we believe strongly that there is so much that we can do to be a part of a change, to move our society full of racism, to make the world a better place. We are committed to providing opportunities for our staff and our residents to come together, to learn from one another through a live virtual series that we call We Can Do Better. But we can't do this alone, just like we can't provide quality care and services to thousands of older adults each and every year alone. We need you, all of you watching right now. We need your generous support, and that'll help ERS weather these difficult times and look to the future to make sure that we are here strong and stable to meet the needs of the ever-changing aging population and to make our world a better place. Your generous donations make that possible. So I'm going to ask you, please, if you haven't done so already, please consider making a donation to the Good Samaritan Mission. I promise you, we will put it to good use.
Well, thank you very much, Laura, and thank you very much, Kathy. As I watched that, what an amazing project. And it is so important to preserve that history. I was thinking as I watched the video how residents will be able to tell the stories of the people who walk through that building to their grandchildren, and how that will really change a generation. It's more than just a building. It's more than just one project. It will actually change lives for years to come. So thank you very much. Let me also thank Joy for the work that she's done and is continuing to do. Her work is really unbelievable when you think of her involvement in the fund development. And so we thank her for her effort in tonight and really every day. Let me just share with you a reminder. The silent auction will remain open, as Joy said earlier, 1 hour following the conclusion of the event. So it will stay open until 9:30 tonight to give you plenty of time to bid on the many fabulous items that we have. The Pay It Forward auction will remain open until the end of October, So thank you very much for joining us this evening, for caring about the needs of older adults and those who care for them, and for supporting Episcopal Retirement Services. The theme, as we said earlier, together we are rising to the occasion. And now, as we mentioned earlier, it's time to have a little fun and just relax and sit back and enjoy some incredible, incredible jazz. For the next 30 minutes, you heard a little sampling of this great voice and band a little earlier. And so now for the next 30 minutes, please welcome the one and only Mandy Gaines Quartet. And we hope to see you at the end of the performance to close out the evening.
Thank you very, very much. You know, many legendary African Americans signed the guest register in the 1940s through the 60s, including jazz musicians like Duke Ellington and Billie Holiday, and baseball Hall of Famers like Jackie Robinson and Hank Aaron. Let me tell you, some of the music of Duke Ellington and Billie Holiday we're going to feature in this set as well. But just to let you know, the Grand Ballroom at the Mance Hotel was host to local societal events, meetings, and conferences, including the 1946 NAACP National Convention. Right now, it's almost like being in love. What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that keeps on ringing for me. And the way that I feel when the bell it starts to peal, I swear that I was falling. Well, I thought I might be falling, and it's almost like being in love. What a rare mood I might be in. It's almost like being in love. I got that smile that's on my face. Said it's there for the human race. It's almost like being in love. Oh, the music of life really seems to be like a bell that keeps on ringing, ringing, ringing for me. And the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, swear then I was falling. Well, I thought I might be falling, and it's almost like being in love, in love. I swear I was falling, thought I might be falling. It's almost like being in love. When you're feeling sad and lonely, there's a service I can render. Tell the one who loves you only, I can be so warm and tender. Call me, don't be afraid, you can call me. Maybe it's late, but just call me. Call me and I'll be around. When it seems your friends desert you, there's somebody thinking of you. I'm the one who'll never hurt you. Maybe it's because I love you. Call me, don't be afraid, you can call me. Maybe it's late, but just call me. Call me and I'll be around. Now don't forget me, cause if you let me, I'll always stay by you. You gotta trust me, that's how it must be. There's so much that we can do. If you call me, I'll be right with you. You and I should be together. Take this love I long to give you. I'll die at your side forever. Call me, don't be afraid, you can call me. Maybe it's late, but just call me. Call me and I'll be around. Woo. When you're feeling sad and lonely, there's a service I can render. Tell the one who loves you only, I can be so warm and tender. Call me, don't be afraid. Call me, maybe it's late. Call me and I'll be around. When it seems your friends desert you, there's somebody thinking of you. I'm the one who'll never hurt you. Maybe it's because I love you. Call me, don't be afraid. Call me, maybe it's late. Call me and I'll be around. Now don't forget me, cause if you let me, I'll always stay by you. Gotta trust me, that's how it must be. Ooh, there's so much that we can do. Oh, if you call me, gonna be right with you. You and I should be together. Take this love I long to give you. Gonna die at your side forever. Call me, don't be afraid. Call me, maybe it's late. Call me and I'll be around. Call me and I'll be around. Call me and I'll be right there. Call me, gonna be around. Call me, I'll be around. Call me, I'll be around. Oh, thank you so very, very much. Call me, call me. Oh, we're going to slow it down just a little bit and do a beautiful song written by Henry Mancini. This was also the third place winning song that was voted on by the residents at Dupree House and Marjorie P. Lee. You know, they did that earlier for us this summer when we had the virtual event. And now we've got first place, second place, and third place song winners. So this is the third place song, Moon River. wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. Dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows in, waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, moon, river, and me. Than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream. The meter's there. You heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows in, waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, moon, river, and me. And me. And me. That's just a beautiful song, undeniable. It's a beautiful song. Thank you so very, very much. We're going to get back into the swing kind of feeling because I know there's some of you swing dancing out there. The great late Duke Ellington, one of his famous tunes. Duke Ellington, who also visited Cincinnati. Take that around again, you know. Stayed at the Man's Hotel. That's right. And we got some swing dances too. I like it. Yeah. Cigarette holder, which wicked me over his shoulder. He digs me out in that satin doll. Well, baby, shall we go I'll skip and careful amigo. He's flipping, speaks Latin, that satin doll. Well, he's nobody's fool, so I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl, but I ain't for no guy catching me. Sweet Rooney telephone number. Well, you know I'm doing my rumba with Uno, and that is my satin dog. Oh, he's nobody's fool, but I will be cool as can be. I'm gonna give it a try, but I ain't for no guy catching me. Switcheroo telephone number. Well, you know I'm doing my rumba with Uno, and that is my satin doll. Oh, yes, that is my satin doll. Oh, yes, that is my satin doll. Wonderful. Wonderful dancing. Thank you so much. Thank you. A little something by Billie Holiday. Well, I fell in love with you the first time I looked into them their eyes. You had a cute way of flirting, yes, that's for certain. Within their eyes, they can make me feel so happy. They can make me blue. No stalling, I'm falling, going in a big way for a sweet little you. I started jumping, you sure started something within their eyes. You better watch it, watch it, watch it if you're wise. Brown eyes, they sparkle, they bubble. They're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking and there's danger lurking in them their eyes. Certain within their eyes, They can make me feel so happy. They can make me blue. No stone and I have fallen sad. Going in a big way for a sweet little you. Heart started jumping, you sure started something within their eyes. You better watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it if you're wise. Brown eyes, they sparkle, they bubble. They're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking and there's danger lurking in them. Their eyes. Woo! Yes, indeed. Then their eyes. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very much. We're going to slow it down one more time tonight. We're going to do a couple of more songs for you. This one happens to be one that I sang at the Dupree House, and it happens to be Joy's parents' favorite song. And I was happy to do it then and happy to do it now. And I'd just like to let you also know that I'm hoping maybe next year that I get to be back there, okay, at the Dupree House. Steve and I had a whole lot of things scheduled there for you all, for the residents. And of course, with the situation of COVID, we couldn't do it, but we're just postponing it until next year. Is that right? All right, that's right. We'll be back next year. Lovely song by Mr. Louis Armstrong, also voted the second place winning song, all right? I see trees of green and red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see the sky so blue and the clouds so white, the long sacred days and the warm blessed nights, and I'll think to myself, what a wonderful world. There are colors of the rainbow so pretty in the sky, and the smiles on the faces of people walking by. And I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? And I guess they're saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I'll watch them grow. They're going to learn more than I could ever know. I will think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, there are colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. Smiles on the faces of people walking by. I'll see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? I guess they might be saying, I love you, and I hear babies crying. I'll watch them grow. They're going to learn more than I could ever know, and I will think to myself, what a wonderful world. I'll think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much. What a wonderful world indeed. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a wonderful world it was, is, and going to be. We're going to leave you with one more song here. The first place voted, the first place song was a song that was voted for the first place. It's a goodie, it's an oldie. We're going to swing it out and say goodnight to you with a little Fly Me to the Moon. All right. Let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, why don't you kiss me? Oh, fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. See, you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Yes, I do. Yeah. Oh, fly me to the moon. Let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring could be like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, why don't you kiss me? Fill my heart with song. I'm gonna sing sing forevermore. You are all I long for. I worship you and I adore. In other words, please be true. You woo-woo. In other words, in other words, in other words, I got loving you. Fly me to the moon. Yes. Thank you so very much. We love you. God bless you.
Thank you so much to the Mandy Gaines Quartet.
Thank you so very
If you love
much.
her as much as I love her, please check her out on Facebook as the world starts opening up again and you are comfortable going out. She plays with her quartet in all kinds of amazing jazz venues all around Cincinnati, so you'll be able to catch her later. Big thanks to our MC, Master of Ceremonies, Curtis Fuller from WLWT, and to the Hilton Cincinnati Netherland Plaza Hotel for hosting us in this absolutely gorgeous, iconic hotel. Once again, thank you to our presenting sponsors, the Model Group, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, Ridgestone Builders and Developers, and U.S. Bank, and all of our corporate and church sponsors and auction and in-kind donors. I would like to give a big kudos to the ERS marketing team under the direction of Vice President Brian Reynolds. We never could have put on a production like this without their incredible creativity and technical expertise, and we are just so fortunate to call them our coworkers. Thanks to the fund development team, all of our volunteers, especially Roger and Michelle Foy, who staged our set for us this evening. As a reminder, our silent auction will remain open 1 hour until 9:30 p.m., so get bidding. There's still some good deals to be had, and our Pay It Forward auction will stay open through the end of October. And finally, I want to thank all of you. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night on Zoom for this unusual virtual gala. We sure hope that we are together again next year. You have risen to the occasion with us. Together, we are making lives better for all the older adults we serve. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. I hope to see you all soon in person, and good night.